Mr. Jacobo, what is
Yeah.
art in your opinion?
This is actually important more than ever, maybe because of the AI conversation that I keep getting. I keep getting drawn into the AI conversation because a lot of the kids a lot of the students. I call them kids. Sorry, that's condescending.
Yeah, I do
But a
that
lot
too.
of the students are, yeah, they're worried that there's not going to be a future for art
That's
careers.
obviously
And
that's obviously not true.
yeah, I think it's a cultural it's a cultural artifact of humans. Big part of the point is that it's something that humans do. It's something that humans create. But what I like about art is that this applies to abstract and representational art both, I think. But what I like about art is that, like, for example, a photograph just records, the flux for each part of the sensor of how many photons hit and the wavelengths and reconstructs it as color. I think that's very different than an artist. An artist, you're using your own human brain to create visual experiences for consumption by other human brains.
Mm-hmm.
And because these techniques work on your brain, like, for example, we can see a simple line drawing. Like, why is it that when we look at a simple line drawing, linear drawing, with no value, why can we see it? How can we see that this is a, like a dog, for example?
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is, like, I think, because I've studied a vision science, and part of that is like the edge detection part of vision science, where our brain is creating a 3D model, not an image, but our brain creates a 3D model and is constantly updating that model. And so there are some ways that artists and visual artists have found to tap into that just through trial and error, I'm assuming, just because it looks good to them, other people respond to it. But through trial and error, I think art is very sophisticated. It's tapping into our visual system, and most of what our brains are doing are related to our visual processes. It taps in, and then it creates an experience in the mind of the viewer. And then if that experience is just making that connection at all is powerful, but also if then once the connection is made, then there's some meaning, some intent, some substance, some narrative, whatever it is that the artist is also trying to communicate. So I think it's a really divine method of communication between human minds, and it's all